Hey, Joe Zarzaur here with another installment for Zarzaur Law TV. The COVID pandemic has affected pretty much every part of our lives over the last 13, 14 months. And car wreck lawsuits and claims is no exception to COVID's broad effect. The way COVID affects your car wreck case is multifactorial and starts with the treatment phase. So obviously, if you're trying to get treatment for a car wreck, if you had a wreck either just prior to COVID or during COVID or recently, you're going to experience some kind of delay probably related to COVID for your treatment. As everybody knows, there was a 2-month delay where you couldn't go to the doctor for anything other than COVID. So for cases that were in the treatment phase, car wreck claims that were in the treatment phase prior to COVID, they were on basically a 2 or 3 month sabbatical. And then when they started back, all those medical offices had to then restart taking first the scheduled appointments they had to cancel. So that basically makes a 2 to 3 to 4 month delay on appointments with the doctor. You may or may not know that car wreck claims themselves are valued based on the treatment. So car wreck injury claims can't be settled or resolved or even get close to that until you know exactly what the injury is and what the treatment program will be for the rest of that person's life. So any delays in the treatment process within a car wreck claim are going to eventually slow down the entire process. So that has one effect. The other effects related to COVID are more financial effects. And here's what I mean by that. First of all, not many of us haven't experienced some type of financial setback due to COVID, whether it be being laid off or not being paid as much in bonuses or having just a downturn in your take-home pay or having your job eliminated in some cases. Everybody has known that. Now, there's one industry that probably didn't feel it as much, and that's the insurance industry. The insurance industry, as you may or may not appreciate, has multi-billions of dollars on hand at any one time. And the way the industry works is they take in your premium payments, they aggregate those payments, and then they put all of their money in investments. So they take your money in premiums, they add it with other people's money from premiums, and then they buy investments, or they put it into investments, and they set it into these places where it can accumulate interest. And they make interest off your money while your premium payments are accruing. And their hope is, and what their actuarials calculate for them, is that you're not going to have a claim. And their money can stay invested. And they are resistant to take money out of those investments because the longer they leave your money into their investments, the more money they can make off of your premium payments. Now, how does COVID affect that? The way COVID affects that is this. If you're delayed in your treatment and we can't put a value on your case because of COVID, well, their money stays in their investments longer. The other thing that COVID has done is that since many of our clients are in a less than optimal financial position, they know that they can maybe settle these cases at a lower dollar value than they otherwise could. So COVID has basically made the bargaining position between a car wreck claimant or a plaintiff and the insurance company has made it even more unequal. It was already unequal, right? Because you're battling an insurance company who's got unlimited funds virtually. Now you're battling an insurance company that has unlimited funds, and many of the plaintiffs are suffering financial losses due to COVID themselves. So it makes it even more unequal and even more unfair when the insurance company is trying to negotiate a settlement of your car wreck case. So COVID has affected our car wreck clients, our plaintiffs in other kinds of cases. And so there are ways that law firms like ours can make these effects less noticeable Basically, it requires us to put the insurance companies in a situation where they're actually having to spend more money to keep that claim going. And if you put them in that situation, they will many times want to get it resolved. But the lawyer and law firm have to be very aggressive in their techniques, more aggressive than they may typically be, because if they don't, they're actually going to get, unfortunately, a situation where the insurance company is just going to say, okay, well, we'll let our money stay in our investments, and you can play the I'm going to wait till the very end of the treatment phase and delay this thing even further, because we're fine with that, because COVID has put a sort of a hold on many of the medical treatments. So the only remedy you have as a claimant is to push your lawyer or law firm to be even more aggressive than they typically would be, file the lawsuit quicker. And then once in the lawsuit, make sure they work it up very fast. The other last component I want to talk about in this is that COVID has shut down the courthouses for civil cases here locally in Escambia and Santa Rosa County. And so because of that, we can't conclude the cases. And insurance companies don't get to their best offer, usually, until they're being pushed there by the trial. So you get your best offers once you're in a lawsuit with an insurance company on the other side. You don't get your best offer until they know they're getting ready to go to trial. Well, guess what? There are no trial dates in 2021 in Escambia County for any civil cases. So the insurance companies are loving this. They know that they don't have to worry about making a decision on settling a case or not until the trials are set. And we're understanding that the trials are not going to be set until late this year, probably not until 2022. So I've explained this all in a blog post that we're going to reference underneath this video. But basically, it's going to require you and your law firm to be very aggressive. We here at Zarzaur Law pride ourselves on being aggressive, and we've stepped that up a couple of notches because of COVID. If you have any questions about how COVID can affect your car wreck case, or have a question about an injury case in general, you can find us on the web at zarzaurlaw.com, or you can call us at 855-HIRE-JOE. Thank you.